most likely going to perish from the COVID-19 virus? 8,000. That's like 1/trillionth of the world's population and shit. I'm sure that number's off, but that is an insignificant number compared to the world population. 8,000 people or so. And who are the people who are most likely to actually contract this virus and die from it? People whose immune systems are already compromised. Older people. And the older you get, 50, 60, 70, 80, the more likely you are to pass from it. The more likely you are to pass from it. I don't even think 1,000 people in America has caught it, yet alone die from it. Pandemic, sure. But is it really that fucking serious that people are responding to this the way that they are? Is it really necessary for people to respond to this the way that they've been responding? I don't think so. I don't think so. This highlights how stupid people are. Sit back and think, people. Do the research. Get informed. Because as far as I know, anybody who makes a decision, Democrats and Republicans, for instance, before they have all the available information available on a subject or topic, is a fucking fool. How can you make an informed decision when you don't have all the information about said situation? You don't have all the information available, but yet you're going to make a decision on the subject. That's stupidity. That's the height of stupidity. Moving on to the next subject, because I did want to talk about a couple of things, and I really don't want to make the video but so long, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. I just wanted to get that off my chest because this shit is fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous how people have responded to this COVID-19 shit that, yes, came from China. And it's still sending people out into the world, purposefully trying to infect as many people as they possibly can. At least that's what the fuck it looks like. I could be wrong, but after the entire world knew about this shit, you still had planes leaving China going to other places and shit. Get the fuck out of here. You telling me they're not doing this shit intentionally? Yeah, okay. You keep thinking all that. People keep thinking Asian people are just good and humble and nice. These people are fucking savages, just like white supremacists. They're savages. Yeah, I said it. Fuck it. Because all I give a fuck about is black empowerment. So fuck everything else. Who cares if you get mad? Nobody gives a fuck about how we feel about shit. I don't care about how other people feel. Fuck it. But anyway, I wanted to say this is totally off topic from what I started talking about, but black people, you cannot get good information from white people. Let me say this. Now again, this is aside from the COVID-19 shit. This is outside of that. When it comes to education, history, and things like that, I know I just jumped subjects real quick, but I don't trust white people to educate black people, especially black children. I don't trust them. They have every reason to lie about history. They have every reason to lie about our place in history. Like the great ancestor, master teacher, John Henrik Clarke said, when he was a child in school, teacher actually told him that his people have no history to speak of. Your people have no history. You come from a people who have no history. This is what a teacher told him as a young boy. They have everything to gain from lying to us and our children about history, about our place in history, our standing in history, and theirs as well. They have every reason to lie about it, because if you study history and you learn who and what the Europeans are and what they come from, wouldn't you lie about your history too? Would you really want the world to look at you as a savage beast like you are, as opposed to a civilized person? Because that's one of their main things. They get off on this whole, we civilized the world. We brought civilization to the whole planet. Get the fuck out of here. No, you didn't. You brought death and destruction to the entire fucking planet. You didn't civilize shit. You didn't even civilize yourselves. Again, to quote the great master teacher, John Henrik Clarke, Europeans have never had a civilization. Because in order to have a civilization, you must first be civil in order to have a civilization. And Europeans have never been civil. Therefore, they do not have and never brought to anyone, started up, erected, and maintained a civilization. We have a society, but it's not a civilization. Especially when one group of people claim to be the Lord and masters of all and reserve the right to treat everybody else like scum. There's nothing civil about that. I have learned more about history as an adult than I ever did from school. And I went to fucking private school. I went to military school. Private school and military school. I grew up with a pretty decent education. You know, I actually have a proper understanding of grammar and phonics, the phonetic spelling of words to teach you how to pronounce just about any word in the English language if you understand phonics, which most kids nowadays have no fucking idea of. Oh, and one other thing too. I'm old enough to remember the Y2K shit. And you know, people bought up the same shit from all the stores during Y2K that they did now. People are afraid of nuclear bombs going off because the computers wouldn't be able to make the leap from 1999 to 2000. So they thought that all the missile silos and all that shit were gonna fucking go off, and it'd be Armageddon. And people bought the same shit then that they're buying now: eggs, meat, toilet paper, water, paper towels, because you're going to get vaporized by a nuclear weapon. But if you got 100 rolls of Scott's toilet tissue, you might save your ass. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on, man. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You know what I was doing? Midnight, fucking from 1999 to 2000. I was riding around in my car. I had a fucking gold Oldsmobile 98. I used to love that car. That shit was fast as shit too. That shit had a V6 engine in it too. It was a dope ass car. I used to like that car. And the only thing that I recall actually happening was fucking gas pumps were shut down because of that shit. You couldn't pump gas. That's it. For a few hours, you couldn't pump gas. That's the only thing that happened. Now you're sitting on a mountain of fucking paper towels and water that you can't do shit. Well, you can drink the water, obviously. But you're sitting on a mountain of shit you can't use because you thought the world was going to end. And having a stockade full of fucking paper towels was going to keep you from being vaporized by a nuclear explosion. Yeah, okay. But it's the same shit. Every time people panic and they think it's the end of the world as we know it, they go out and buy the same shit. So how predictable does that make people in this quote unquote society when you panic and do the same dumb shit over and over again? Yeah, but anyway, white people cannot teach black people history. You can't really teach us much of anything. But you definitely can't teach us history. In fact, I would even say white people don't actually fare as good teachers to black people, period. Because even if they do teach you the lessons correctly, they're still going to be biased in how they grade you and how they treat you in their classroom. So it is up to the parents to teach the children. It is up to you as a parent, as an adult, to teach your children. You have to stop. And this is actually a nice segue into what I wanted to talk about too. We have in the black community too many grown ass boys running around. And I'm going to just say this. But if you are a grown ass man over the age of 25, I would say 28. Because you're still dumb as fuck at 25. If you are a grown ass man over the age of 28 and you still if you're walking around with skinny jeans that hang off your ass, you are a representative of the zero-sum property. You are a fucking waste of space. You are a negative influence on the black community. Because no kid needs to be listening to a grown man walking around with his ass hanging out of his pants. No black child needs to be taking their cues from an old ass man who's trying to be a young ass teenager. No black child needs to be taking their cues from any man walking around with his pants hanging off his ass. None of them. I just had to get that off my chest. And I'm stopping right here because it's a little bit of reprieve from the rain. It's not raining hard, but it's drizzling. It's been raining all day actually. But in any event, but I just had to get that off my chest. I'm sick of this pseudo culture that black people seem to constantly uplift and uphold. This bullshit culture. We think that every stupid thing that we do and promote is part of our culture. Being ignorant is part of your culture. Being subservient or how do I say? Being stuck on an accent. Your accent doesn't make you who you are. It doesn't make you black. You understand that? I would rather speak in a clear, concise manner, speak with intelligence and be grammatically correct and accurate and have proper grammatical syntax than for people to be able to say, hey, you're from Louisiana, you're from North Carolina. Oh,